Hidden beneath southeastern Romania lies one of the strangest ecosystems ever discovered on Earth. Deep below the surface, sealed away from sunlight for millions of years, is Movile Cave. An underground world where life survives without plants, without photosynthesis, and without any connection to the forests and fields above. Instead, bacteria fueled by chemicals such as hydrogen sulfide and methane form the foundation of a completely different food web. In this bizarre environment, a remarkable collection of spiders, centipedes, pseudoscorpions, isopods, springtails, and other tiny creatures have evolved in near-total isolation. Movile Cave was discovered in 1986 during geological surveys conducted before the construction of a power plant near Mangalia, Romania. The discovery was made by Romanian workers drilling exploratory shafts, and scientists soon realized they had uncovered something extraordinary. Among the leading researchers to investigate the cave was Romanian speleologist Cristian Lascu, whose work helped reveal the cave's astonishing ecosystem to the scientific world. Instead of finding a barren underground chamber, researchers entered an environment teeming with specialized life forms unlike almost anything known elsewhere on Earth. For biologists, the greatest surprise was not the cave itself, but the dozens of invertebrate species living inside it. Many had never been described before and existed nowhere else on the planet. Today, more than 50 animal species have been documented from Movile Cave, with well over 30 considered endemic, meaning they evolved there and are found nowhere else. The first image highlights two of the top terrestrial predators found in Romania's Movile Cave. In panel A is the cave spider Agricina christiani, a species adapted to permanent darkness. Like many cave spiders, it has reduced pigmentation and relies heavily on vibrations and touch rather than eyesight to locate prey. It patrols cave walls and rocky surfaces, feeding on smaller invertebrates such as springtails, mites, and juvenile crustaceans that wander too close. Panel B shows Cryptops Speleorex, a striking reddish-orange centipede that was recognized as a distinct species in 2020 after detailed genetic and anatomical studies. This formidable predator is considered one of the apex hunters of the cave ecosystem. Armed with venomous front claws called forcipules, it captures insects, isopods, and other invertebrates with lightning-fast strikes. Its elongated body and sensitive antennae allow it to navigate efficiently through the cave's darkness, making it one of the dominant terrestrial predators in Movile Cave. Panel C features the millipede Archiborealis serban-sabui, an endemic species named in honor of Romanian biospeleologist Serban Sarbu. Unlike the predatory centipede, this millipede serves as a decomposer, feeding on bacterial films, fungi, and decaying organic material. Panel D shows the cave isopod Trachelopus troglobius, a pale terrestrial crustacean related to common woodlice found on the surface. Its white coloration reflects the absence of pigment, a common adaptation among cave-dwelling species that no longer need camouflage from sunlight. It spends much of its time crawling across moist cave surfaces, grazing on microbial growth and contributing to nutrient cycling. The second figure begins with several aquatic species that inhabit Movile Cave's warm, mineral-rich waters. Panel A depicts the blind leech Homopus sica, an unusual predator that has adapted to life underground. Unlike blood-feeding leeches, species in this group often prey on small aquatic invertebrates or scavenge organic material found within the cave pools. Panel B shows Acellus aquaticus infernus, a pale aquatic isopod crustacean. This subspecies spends its life crawling across submerged rocks and sediments, feeding on microbial mats and decomposing material. As one of the more abundant aquatic consumers, it forms an important link between the bacteria-driven food web and larger predators. Panel C illustrates tiny ostracods belonging to Pseudochindona species, microscopic crustaceans enclosed within clam-like shells measuring only fractions of a millimeter in size. Despite their diminutive appearance, these organisms graze on bacteria and organic particles and represent a significant component of the cave's microscopic aquatic community. Panel D presents one of Movile Cave's most famous inhabitants, the blind water scorpion, Napa anophthalma. Despite its common name, it is not a true scorpion, but an aquatic insect in the order Hemiptera. It uses raptorial front legs to seize prey and a long breathing siphon at the rear of its body to obtain air while remaining submerged. Finally, Panel E shows clusters of the freshwater snail Heliobia dabragica. These small gastropods graze continuously on bacterial biofilms coating submerged surfaces. By converting microbial growth into animal biomass, they help transfer energy through the cave ecosystem and provide food for predators higher up the food chain. The foundation of life in Movile Cave begins with microscopic bacteria coating the cave walls and floating on the surface of its warm, mineral-rich waters. Unlike nearly every ecosystem on the surface, these bacteria do not rely on sunlight. Instead, they perform chemosynthesis, extracting energy from chemicals rising from underground deposits. These bacterial mats become food for tiny grazing invertebrates, such as nematodes, springtails, mites, and crustaceans. Those small animals are then hunted by larger predators, including spiders, centipedes, pseudoscorpions, and water scorpions. Every link in the food chain ultimately traces back to chemistry rather than sunlight. The cave atmosphere is also extremely unusual. Oxygen levels are significantly lower than on the surface, while carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide concentrations are much higher. Despite these harsh conditions, the resident invertebrates have evolved to thrive where many outside species would quickly perish. Generations of life in complete darkness have caused many cave springtails to lose pigmentation, giving them pale white or translucent bodies. Their eyes have become reduced or disappeared entirely because vision provides little advantage in perpetual darkness. Instead, they navigate using sensitive hairs and chemical receptors that detect moisture, vibrations, and food sources. Equally fascinating are the cave isopods, distant relatives of familiar woodlice found in gardens around the world. Unlike their surface cousins, Movile Cave isopods possess elongated appendages and reduced coloration, adaptations shaped by countless generations in darkness. Predators are surprisingly diverse inside Movile Cave. Several spider species stalk prey across damp walls and cave floors, relying almost entirely on touch and vibration rather than vision. Their long legs allow them to detect subtle movements while conserving energy in an ecosystem where meals may be unpredictable. One more remarkable predator is the Movile Cave water scorpion, an aquatic true bug adapted to hunting within underground pools. Although it resembles a scorpion because of its grasping forelegs and breathing tube, it is actually an insect related to assassin bugs and giant water bugs. Its presence demonstrates that even aquatic habitats inside the cave support complex predator-prey interactions despite the complete absence of sunlight. Centipedes rank among the most formidable hunters in Movile Cave. Armed with venomous forcipules, modified front limbs capable of injecting toxins, they patrol cracks and crevices in search of vulnerable prey. Some cave-dwelling centipedes possess especially elongated antennae that compensate for reduced eyesight, by allowing them to detect obstacles and nearby animals through touch. Nearby lurk pseudoscorpions, tiny arachnids resembling miniature scorpions but lacking a tail and stinger. Despite their small size, they wield venomous pincers capable of subduing prey and represent another important layer in Movile Cave's intricate food web. Evolution inside Movile Cave offers one of the clearest examples of adaptation through long-term isolation. Scientists estimate that the cave ecosystem has been separated from the surface for approximately 5.5 million years. During that immense span of time, populations became trapped underground and gradually diverged from their ancestors. Without sunlight, maintaining eyes and body pigment became energetically expensive, with little survival benefit. Individuals investing more energy into sensory hairs, elongated limbs, or chemical detection often gained advantages. And over countless generations, these traits became widespread. The result is a community filled with organisms that appear ghostly white, nearly blind, and uniquely specialized for surviving in perpetual darkness. Many cannot survive outside the cave because they are so finely tuned to its stable temperature, humidity, and chemical conditions. Movile Cave stands as one of the most extraordinary natural laboratories ever discovered. From bacteria powered by underground chemicals to pale spiders, springtails, centipedes, isopods, mites, pseudoscorpions, and aquatic predators, every resident contributes to a food web unlike any found on the sunlit surface. Its discovery, in 1986, transformed scientific understanding of subterranean ecosystems and demonstrated that entire communities can flourish independently of photosynthesis. Millions of years of isolation have produced an astonishing collection of endemic invertebrates whose bodies tell the story of adaptation, evolution, and survival under extreme conditions. As scientists continue exploring this hidden Romanian world, Movile Cave remains one of the strongest examples of nature's ability to innovate in the most unexpected places, proving that even in darkness filled with toxic gases and scarce resources, evolution can create ecosystems of remarkable complexity and resilience. Accessing Movile Cave is both difficult and dangerous. Researchers often have to wade or dive through flooded passages, while carrying specialized equipment to reach the isolated chambers beyond. Strict precautions are necessary because the cave contains low oxygen levels and elevated concentrations of gases such as hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide, making it one of the most challenging environments for biological research. As we come to the end of our journey through Movile Cave, it's clear that this hidden world is one of the most extraordinary ecosystems ever discovered. Sealed off from the surface for millions of years, it has become a living laboratory of evolution, where spiders, centipedes, millipedes, isopods, water scorpions, leeches, snails, ostracods, and countless microscopic organisms have adapted to survive in complete darkness and an atmosphere rich in toxic gases. Every creature, from the tiniest crustacean grazing on bacterial mats to the apex predators stalking the cave floor, plays a vital role in an ecosystem powered not by sunlight, but by chemical energy rising from deep within the earth. The discovery of Movile Cave in 1986 forever changed scientists' understanding of what is possible for life on our planet. It demonstrated that thriving communities can exist entirely independent of photosynthesis, and provided valuable clues about how life might survive in similarly extreme environments beneath the surfaces of Mars or the icy moons of Jupiter and Saturn. Many of its inhabitants exist nowhere else on Earth, making the cave not only a biological treasure, but also a reminder of how much remains unexplored beneath our feet. Thanks for joining me on this expedition into one of the planet's most isolated and mysterious habitats. If you enjoyed learning about the incredible invertebrates of Movile Cave and want to discover more hidden worlds, unusual species, and fascinating evolutionary stories, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. And if you're interested in keeping amazing invertebrates of your own, visit me at Legion Exotics on Morph Market to see the animals I have available. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and remember that some of Earth's greatest wonders are found in the places where almost no light has ever reached.